Hello, and welcome to Troubles in Toraigh. This is session 20 of our first campaign of Chronicles of the Fae. I'm Faye, the MC for this campaign, and with me I have some friends, and we're going to play D&D. Say hi, friends.
Hello.
Hi, friends.
Hi.
This campaign is a special project, one of many set in the world of the Wilder. The Wilder Project is a shared world IP where creators can use the structure and lore of this fantasy world called the Wilder in order to create their own stories and games. Some of these stories and games are already in progress, such as our webcomic Magnamel, our mobile game Tower of Gaia, and our tabletop board game Kingstone, all of which are either currently released or coming soon. To learn more about those projects and how to support them, you can go to www.thewilderproject.com to learn more. Before we begin the campaign proper, I'd just like to cover a few ground rules for the channel. It's important to remember that we are not pro D&D players. We have receptive ears and open hearts for any feedback that folks have, but it's our game, and ultimately we're going to play it how we like it. So we hope you'll respect our playstyle, and we'll make sure our other community members respect yours too. Along those lines, because this campaign is set in the world of the Wilder, it's not directly compatible with D&D rules. For the most part, we will be sticking to the rules of D&D for all the mechanical aspects of play, but flavor-wise, everything's not always going to be a perfect fit between in-game descriptions of effects and how we explain those effects in this world. We're implementing some custom rules that we anticipate releasing in a module further down the line so that you can play in D&D in the world of the Wilder too. Finally, one of the reasons why I love playing D&D the most is because you can never truly expect what might happen next. See the last 2 episodes of this campaign, but that does mean that none of us will have complete control over the content that will be covered during the course of the campaign. So please be mindful of what content might be potentially distressing to you, and if you feel like it is coming up, we highly encourage that you take a break from the live stream and pick the story back up via VOD on YouTube once the live play is over. All right, let's play some D&D. Last we left off, our party was just recovering from a battle with Lord Cornelius Must and his wolven ward Adeline. Having slain the ward, the group had restrained and subdued the Lord Must, and Shoal took them aside from the rest of the party in an attempt to defend them from potentially prematurely ending his life. The party attempt to negotiate with Lord Cornelius Must and get some more information about their circumstances, get him to get some of the guards away from the basement where they were conducting this interrogation. And unfortunately, were not able to see eye to eye with the Lord Must as he cried out and drew the attention of the Must Manor guards, who began to assault our team down the stairwell into the basement. It was a hard-fought, rather dragged-out battle, but ultimately, many of the party members fell unconscious and then miraculously came to life. Only a few escaped, Shoal escaping underground with Flynn out to the exterior of the property, and Reuben managing to negotiate a surrender and being bound and captured along with Anna and Rayna, who were unconscious, but Rayna managed to wake up and stabilize Anna, and we will see what happens with them right now. But first, we're going to wrap up a little bit with Shoal and Flynn. So, soil and rock rush around you as Shoal's swarm propels the two of you through the turf and soil underneath the Must property. Shoal, you have been occasionally poking a head-like portion of your swarm up out of the ground to get a better sense visually of your surroundings, and you have come now entirely underground to the outskirts of the Must mansion. Not just the Must mansion, but in fact the Must estate proper. Looking back now, as you poke your head up, you can see that there is a main roadway that leads into the Must estate and goes into that walled off section where the manor property is located. You have come all the way out alongside that road, and you are now at an intersection of the public roadways that exist through the estates, with Flynn in your grasp. What do you do?
So what's the entrance of this look like, the wall? Is there like a gate
What's the deal?
So the entrance to the manor property has a gate and has those large, like 13-foot tall walls that you had gone underneath from the back to get in. But there is no wall like that for the entire property. You'll remember at the beginning of your infiltration originally, you guys kind of climbed over some fences. Similar fences line the entire outskirts of the property. And then you would probably need to go in like about 60 feet or so, maybe 80 feet before you arrived at the wall where the gate is that leads into the mansion and the manor itself.
Lynn, are you okay?
Are we above ground right now?
Just barely. They've brought your head up so that
Okay.
you can breathe and speak.
I'm hanging on.
Do you think we are safe here?
I think we're as safe as we're gonna be. I think here's fine.
Okay.
The both of you could make a perception check, or one of you could do so with advantage.
I'll let Joel.
With advantage. 3, 4, 7, so 14.
Okay. Yeah, on a 14, it's immediately obvious to you that it is late in the evening. The roadways are dimly lit by moonlight, but it's almost 1 a.m. at this point. So the roads are fairly unoccupied. You don't look to be in immediate danger of being spotted by roadside travelers. Looking back at the property, you can see like flurries of torchlight moving rapidly back and forth across the Must Estate. It's clear that the guards are on high alert, but you can't tell how many of them, how far away, or anything like that. It just looks like there are a lot of folk searching the property right now.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how much longer I can take this underground travel. As much as I appreciate it, I'm not doing too well.
We understand. Will you be all right on your own?
I think so.
We're going back.
Okay. Good luck.
Do you have any potions or trinkets that may help us? Because we do not feel very good about this. We are nervous that our friends are. We'd rather not say.
I'll hand over a potion of healing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me move that.
We hope you make it in time.
Me too. I think I'm gonna try to head back to the inn. Hopefully, if I'm by myself, I won't draw attention. I think I can make it there. So, if you don't find me, that's where I'll be.
Do you think it is worth it to try to find Veo or someone for help? Or are we on our own?
I think for now we're on our own. And if Veo wants to help, she'll make herself present. I don't expect her to be happy with us at the moment.
What about Rochester?
I think he'll find out very soon without us needing to hunt him down either.
Okay. We trust you.
Trust you too. Good luck.
Thank you.
We'll dive back under. Let's get it.
Okay. Where are you headed, Shoal?
Um, can you bring up the map?
Yes.
All right. So this is the outside
Correct.
of the estate.
Yeah.
So
this is a map of the mansion proper. But there is a large courtyard in front of this mansion that you essentially dug underneath, and then that there is a circular roadway in the back that connects to additional buildings on the property. Where are you looking to go?
So Shoal probably near the main. Yeah, probably near the main entrance of the estate.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and roll a stealth check for me, and then also roll a survival check for me.
Okay, stealth is 16, survival is 6. Wait. Stealth is 20, survival is 16.
Okay. All right. So Flynn, you watch as Shoal visually it looks like they are diving back into the ground as a little bit of dirt and soil come up. And slowly the sound of digging dissipates as you assume they are heading closer and closer to the mansion. You're headed back to the Happy Sea Dog. Is that where you're headed?
Yeah, very slowly, very stealthily, very perceptively making my way back.
Okay. Roll me a stealth check and a perception check.
Okay. Well, not perceptively. I got a nat 1 for 5, and my stealth is a 10.
Okay. So you begin walking quite slowly. You can't be too confident of how stealthily, just due to the nature of your injuries. Down the road, along the fence that outlines the Must Estate. The night is growing later. The winds blow around you, causing all these like high, untamed grasses to rustle and wave. And then, for a second, the wind dies down, but the rustling in the grass does not stop. And you see a figure come moving through the grass and hop up onto the fence post to the left of you. You see a small, strange-looking fox with red fur plunging into a vibrant purple as the fur nears the tips of their feet, tail, and ears. Its ears are large and cupped, with odd black diamond-like geometric patterns in the fur on the back. On the center of the fox's head, there's another diamond shape in black fur. Its eyes have an otherworldly yellow iris that almost seems to glow just from how vibrant it is, without any light emanating from it at all. The fox's tail flits back and forth almost playfully, and its head turns to look at you and then off towards the mansion in the distance. And as you walk past it or up to it, it says, "Well, this is a little unexpected, although only barely enough to be interesting. I presume that swarthy old merchant didn't get to complete his little ritual this evening."
No. Who are you?
It's a little conceited, wouldn't you agree? To take such risks, to prolong the lives of such uninteresting people. There are hundreds of other mothers and daughters just like them across this world, and hundreds more like them will be born in the future. They're not special.
This is a Lovecraftian fox.
To you or to me, no, but that's kind of up to the people involved how special they are.
Well, I guess we can see how well it works out for the people involved when left to their own devices. I'm sure this means you and yours have left a lot of paint for me to use, yes?
I guess you'll have to find out.
Fox turns to regard you with intent for the first time, their yellow eyes scanning over your armor and weapons. Hold on 1 second here. Okay. Seemingly like the fox is looking at you for the first time, they almost look like they're smiling and say, "Well, look at you. Those are cute." And they gesture with a paw, and the runes that you've covertly engraved into your armor and weapons begin to glow with a faint white light. And the fox says, "These are some pretty weak glyphs. Why don't you try practicing some more?" And their paw flicks, and you feel a light exhalation of wind, almost like a force, as all of your infusions become disenchanted.
Okay.
And I'd like you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Sure.
Don't worry, you only take 1 point of damage if you fail.
I got a 16.
16 is unfortunately a failure.
Wow. Okay.
What?
Or are they strong or something?
How dare they be strong? All of a sudden you feel yourself just kind of freeze up and become unable to move. You can breathe, but it feels almost like a gift that's been given, like you're not even capable of breathing, but for some reason you are able to still breathe. But otherwise cannot move. And as you do, the fox hops off of the fence post, runs up to you, and says, "I'll be taking this," and begins climbing up you and rummaging around for your bay glass and draw it from your pouch. They take the broken glass in their mouth and hop off of you. And they say,
where that's been? Gross.
And they say, "Well, let's see what mess you've left." And they begin trotting off, little almost happily, into the grasses, heading towards the Must Estate. After about, hold on, let me check the spell. After about a minute, you feel the spell release. But I'm going to let you make a few saves just to see if you immediately escape it.
Okay.
So make another wisdom saving throw.
15.
Okay, make another. This is just the first few rounds after the fox
17.
is running off. Okay, make another.
18.
18 is a success.
All right.
And so about 4 seconds or so after the fox begins trotting away from you, you regain your ability to move.
I am now quickly making it back to the salty sea dog.
Sure. And we will return to you whenever we get to that
Okay.
point.
Sure.
Okay.
We're not going to talk about it.
Just another everyday encounter, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, have you
talk with
guys,
foxes.
if you've maybe read up to, around page 150 of the comic, yikes! I don't really have any insight other than that.
Meanwhile, in the basement of Must Mansion, Reuben, Rayna, and Anna have all been tied up. You've been restrained with rope, feet tied together, and hands tied in such a way that they are stuck behind your back. Taylor, will you go ahead and roll a d4 for me?
That's a 1.
Okay. In this instance, rolling 1 is actually good.
Oh, okay.
That's
Great.
the number of hours it's going to take before you regain consciousness on your own.
Cool.
The guards have moved you all into a position in the bottom corner of the room so that you are far enough away from each of each other that you can't move to each other or interact. And they are otherwise standing guard at the entrance to the basement. Some time passes, and during that time, you can hear loud shouts, the rapid flurry of boots tramping across the floor above. There's obviously a lot of activity. You hear people calling out, talking about the directions which they're searching, who are they looking for, which way did they go, but there is no activity here. Rayna, are you still feigning unconsciousness as you were at the end of the actual combat? Or at this point, are you dropping the facade?
I think I would still be feigning unconsciousness, but trying to sneak a peek at like what's going on, how many guards are around, like anything like that.
Sure. Make a perception check. And Jack, if you feel Reuben would be doing the same, you can also make a perception check.
Absolutely. Hey, I'm here too. I rolled a 7 plus 6, 13.
I rolled a 5 or a 4, so that becomes a 5.
Okay. On a 5, you're not able to tell too much other than what I just already described. On a 13, Reuben, I think one thing that would stand out to you with that perception check is that there are definitely other guards nearby the basement. You can tell based on how close you can hear their conversations, like you can hear them murmuring, and occasionally you notice that the guards down here are like checking back up the stairs and saying a few things. So you feel like these are probably not the only guards, obviously, but there are others in close proximity.
What are they saying? Are they talking about what they're going to do with us?
No, you hear them talking about a Captain Angwin, and they're talking about how they are night captain for the next 3 days, and that they didn't hear when she got in. They're talking about when they expect her arrival.
Oh, to here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did we ever get the name of the guard that we spoke to who worked on the Must estate?
You did not.
No, it was a mistake.
Is there anything that Reuben and Rayna are doing in this moment other than perceiving?
Well, I'd like to perceive. Okay, so we're in a room. There's obviously guards in this room, so there's really no hope of escape.
Yeah,
I
so
would
there
like-
are two guards. There is a female puppet and a male doll that are both standing, one on either side of the doorway that leads to the stairs up to the mansion.
Okay.
The Lord Must's body still lies in the corner opposite of where you all are, and Adeline and Lady Must, their bodies as well lie on the floor. Currently, none of it has been disturbed.
I mean, I would probably, just to have my hands free, probably be digging around behind me for something sharp, I guess.
Okay. Go ahead and make a sleight of hands check for me.
Good old sleight of hand. I rolled an 11 plus 4, a 15.
Okay. On a 15, you're able to get enough action out of your hands to like feel around behind you. It doesn't feel like there's anything sharp behind you, but also you evade being detected by the guards, so the guards do not notice that you're starting to search and starting to kind of struggle.
I think Rayna would probably try to get her hands free too, if possible.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and make a sleight of hands check or an athletics check if you're just trying to break free.
Yeah, I'll go sleight of hand, even though I'm better in athletics, just because I feel like I want to be less obvious.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
It's a 13 total.
On a 13, you are not able to break free of the ropes. Because of how passive you were at the time, they really were able to just take their time in tying you up very tightly. And you can tell it's going to be very difficult to escape these bonds, but you can continue trying over the course of your captivity here. A few more moments pass, and you hear a much louder stomping of boots, as it sounds like several guards are coming up to the basement, and they begin descending the stairs. Walking through the doorway as the female puppet and the male doll kind of stand aside, you see another guard still in the same chainmail with the shield and all of that. But this guard seems to have a much more ornate kind of helmet on as well, that looks to be made of plate. It's a tall, burly doll with brown hair and a long braid that comes out underneath the helm in the back and goes all the way down the length of her back. She has a very square chin and a scar across the side of her nose. She carries a large steel longsword at the ready in her hand. But you also notice that her armor is a little disheveled looking. It looks like she likely was not prepared for combat whenever the alarm was sounded for her to come here. She walks into the room with purpose, and a glare on her face, and she immediately beelines right over to the altar and the beds arranged around it, where the fire is still crackling, and starts searching the area. As she does this, two more guards come walking down behind her, and they also begin to not just search the area, but you can see that they are like looking underneath the beds. They're moving the bodies at this point. And after a moment of time, you hear almost like a retching sound a little bit. And you hear the doll say, "Oh, break all you sons of bitches." And the doll walks over to the three of you, kneels down so that they are just out of like the ability to reach them, even though you wouldn't be able to, currently restrained. And she says, Who the hell sent you, and what were you trying to do with the Must family here?
Now, it's about time that you hear our side of the story, because this whole time I feel like we've been railroaded. We simply
right,
came
tell
to
me.
deliver a message. And lo and behold, we just completely get blindsided and attacked, simply defending ourselves. And magic use is not good. And if in fact I feel like we kind of involuntarily did some justice.
Make a persuasion check or deception check.
I am terrible. I don't
I'm
like
actually going to call it a deception check.
deception check.
Yeah.
That was all bad.
Even though it was kind of the truth.
It was kind of true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honesty is the best policy.
Except in this case,
Yeah.
lying till you die, baby.
I love that.
She says, very well, a group of messengers. What was this message you were sent to deliver in the middle of the night?
I don't know. I haven't opened it. Duh, that's what a messenger does. He delivers a message.
Where is it?
I don't know. I forgot who had it. Rayna, do you have it?
He's unconscious.
Oh, I thought. Oh, yeah.
No,
She's
I'm
faking
still faking it.
unconsciousness.
Oh, never mind. She's out.
Just you, my friend.
You actually do have it though, Reuben, correct?
Are you asking me that, or is the doll?
No, this is a DM question. I
Yes,
believe, yeah, you had.
I have it.
Okay, so I'm going to ask for a deception check on that.
Do it again.
Pray to God I do something cool this game.
Oh.
Um,
And wait, hold on. Before you do anything, I noticed the face that I'm getting.
yeah,
Right.
it would be
I'm like-
visually obvious to you, but she's not buying it.
Wait, it's folded up in my. Can you? It's in here.
She stands up and says,
Let's see.
"Search him." And the two guards that were searching the bodies, they were in the middle of moving the three bodies to be kind of together off of the beds. They stop in the middle of that process and walk over to you, Reuben, and begin rummaging through your pockets.
Well,
Hey,
everybody.
go ahead. I got nothing to hide.
Well, they're focused on Reuben. Can I try to break free again?
Sure.
Except
Yep.
for this meat and my monkey.
Oh, that time I got a 22.
Very nice. In the midst of this kind of, I don't know what you would call it, a kerfuffle or whatever it is, as they're rummaging through Reuben's pants,
Whoa!
it becomes a lot easier for you to put a bit more force and effort into your straining against these ropes. And you feel your hands come free.
You mean Reuben's not Donald Ducking it?
He's not. No, he has pockets. He has pouches. He has bags. They're being gone through. And in that moment, they pull out a bunch of papers.
How many papers do you keep on you?
Jack,
dude?
our amazing artist, actually drew me with pants. So
No, I know.
Oh.
I know.
Okay.
I just think it's funnier.
Most of the pages are blank. These would be the pieces of paper that you write your messages to Lieutenant Commander Winston Rochester on. But they also find the note.
yeah, of
The-
course.
Of course they do.
No, of course, no problem.
I mean, you
Sorry.
told them to.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I'm just like, as things progress, I get a little bit nervous. Whatever.
She opens the note and scans it over, and she says, "The Privateering Act, of course. What's supposed to happen to the family?"
Well, how was I supposed to know? Maybe if they were reasonable people, then they wouldn't have attacked us, and we wouldn't be in this situation now. Now, who's at fault here?
So that's your claim. You
Yeah, it's
came here
either
to
my
deliver a
dick.
message and that you were attacked.
Yeah, that's
By
exactly.
the Lord Cornelius Must.
Well, not him per se. Well, a little bit him. I mean, he was a bit weaker, but
I should say so. He's 57 years old.
Well-
Ageist.
you try putting a wolfen in front of a monster hunter, see what happens.
She scowls upon hearing that. And she leans in really close, and under her breath, you can hear her saying, that Wolven was a member of this family.
Right. How far from Reuben am I?
So you are about 5 feet apart. Hold on. Let me just check where
Did
I
you
put
put your
you.
mask back on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I made a
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
I was just thinking
And
about it.
Anna is a member of this family. And you see here right now, dead because of that fucking wolven.
It's just-
And she says, okay, so the name's Anna. Got it.
Thanks,
well-
dude.
Oh, thanks.
Actually, you are Anna is in between you and Reuben. So you're about 15 feet away from him.
Fuck, that's really far. I was hoping I could slowly, stealthily edge over and undo his bonds, but I guess I will wait. Okay. I'm closer to Anna though. I'm
Yeah.
gonna slowly edge toward her and stealthily try to undo her bonds while people are focused on Reuben.
There are guards that are hanging out by us, though.
Yeah, but
You
they're
should-
probably watching the conversation. They think we're unconscious. Maybe they have their backs to us.
I mean, I am unconscious.
Well, yeah, but my goal
no
is that you
pretending
won't
there.
be bound once you're not.
Okay. Just give me 1 second here.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll a stealth check for me.
Okay.
Right, you're inching over to Anna.
Yes. And oh no, I got a 9 total.
Okay. As you say that, Reuben, mentioning Anna, the captain kind of gives a nod, affirmative nod, mentioning the name, goes and stands up for a second and kind of turns around. And for a moment, you can't see her face, but then she whips back around and punches you square in the jaw. And you take 1 damage.
Aggressive.
Oh,
She is
Rayna is
aggressive.
gonna bolt up. She'll keep her hands behind her back as if they're bound, but she will sit up and
I will say on top of that, that as she's doing that, because of that 9 stealth check, perhaps because Rayna is sitting up in protest, they see you doing so.
yeah.
And the captain says, get her. And the 2 guards that were walking away begin running towards you.
Rayna will very carefully try to keep her hands back and say, did you know what they were up to? The spells and the rituals and blood magic. You know that's not you know the danger he was putting his own family in. You should know that we were in danger too just by being in the room.
Reuben spits out some blood,
Yeah.
punching a tied up, unarmed man. I don't think these people are worth reasoning with.
Yeah, Rayna's making a point not to lie and say that they attacked us, just to say that it was a dangerous situation created by Cornelius.
Yeah, you get about halfway through that statement when the sorry, I have to check.
When someone else punches you.
Yes, correct.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
I have 1 hit point.
The female poppet runs up and takes a swing at you, also hitting you in the head. knocking you unconscious.
I can't try to dodge something.
You were restrained.
No, she wasn't.
I'm pretending to be
Your
restrained.
hands are free,
Oh.
but you're still restrained technically because your feet are tied up. You're bound you're bound otherwise besides your hands. It's not like you could bring up your arms.
Okay. Did they non-lethally punch me, or am I rolling death saves?
They non-lethally punched you.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I tried. Man, these fuckers were in on it.
I'm just sleeping.
So the captain is now kind of holding you, Reuben, by the ropes that you're bound with after having just punched you. She kind of grabs the ropes to keep you from falling over from the hit.
Don't lie, she's holding him by the ears.
No, by the ropes.
Oh goodness.
And
she seems the type.
She pulls you in close and says, "What have you done with Lady Kira? How do I wake her? If you want to live, you're going to have to start making yourself useful fast."
Too bad the only person that knows.
Don't know what he did to Lady Kira.
She stares at you for a second and then kind of looks you up and down once more, looks around at your two companions unconscious on the floor. And then frustrated, just kind of throws you to the floor, letting go of you, and turns her back again and kind of starts pacing a little bit, it looks like. By now, the other two guards have moved. Must and the Lady Must and Adeline, they moved their bodies into like a row, and you can see they're searching through Must's robes. The other has picked up the large morning star that the dead Wolven Adeline had, still kind of looking at it in her hand, remarking on it. As that is happening, there are some footsteps coming down the stairs, and around the corner comes a short, chubby moose stuffkin wearing a white linen nightgown with kind of frilly cuffs that end at the forearm and fuzzy looking red slippers, with a matching fuzzy red nightcap sitting between two small twisted antler looking appendages. The figure seems obviously groggy, and is holding like a lit candle in a tray, and is rubbing their eyes. And they say, "Captain Carenza, what is the meaning of this?" And the captain says, "Look around!" And you see the moose's eyes widen as they start to kind of take in the scene before them, looking at the bodies on the floor. And they rush back up the stairs, and you can hear about halfway up, they vomit onto the floor.
Are we still in the basement?
Yeah.
Oh, I figured they'd have put us in another room or something.
Is the moose like a child?
No. They look to be probably like in their like late 50s, maybe early 60s. They look very old.
So
like
they have kind of patches of gray fur around the back of their head.
He called the doll Carenza, but the other people referred to the night captain being Angwin, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's not who she... All right.
Unless her name is Angwin Carenza, or vice versa.
I can't stop.
Both times they were referred to with a title first, though. Captain, whatever. So...
The moose comes back around and says, "Well, what are we doing here? We need to call the enforcers. What are you doing? Kill these men."
Please
And
don't.
you hear the captain turns aside and like walks over to the moose and puts a hand on their shoulder.
Punches them too.
And you hear her saying under her breath, I can't kill them until I have the information I need. Plus, the Lord is dead. We don't necessarily know what our orders are here. And you hear the moose reply, you and I have both worked here together for over 7 years, Carenza. You know as well as I that the Lord would want these people killed. Immediately. Look at what they did to Mira. And it sounds like he's tearing up a little bit.
Misplaced rage, buddy. We didn't do anything to Mira. The Lord did.
You cry that out.
Yeah, you know what? Whatever. I don't care. Take it out on me. Fuck you.
The butler starts climbing, like pulling themselves over the armor of the captain, right? And they say, oh, you'll see where my anger is placed. And the captain restrains them.
Is Shoal there yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Had they reacted at all to my pointing out, like, did you know what he was doing?
They have not outwardly appeared to react to that. No.
Okay.
I don't think they do know, and they don't care.
The butler says, What of the little lady? Where is she? And the captain says, she's in a bed over there. And the moose runs underneath the arm of the captain over to the young lady Kira of Must, who is still asleep and unconscious in the bed. And he says, well, what is she doing here? Get her out of here. What if she wakes up? She can't see this. What's wrong with her? What's wrong with her? And the moose turns to you, Reuben, and starts yelling at you.
I think it's pretty obvious. She attacked us. We were just trying to do our jobs. She attacked us.
Well, so they're talking about the daughter,
about the daughter
who's asleep in the bed.
woman.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought they said Adelaide.
No, Kira.
Oh.
I was to say that's a stretch with the line.
I was like, that didn't happen at all.
Look, they were down here doing magic. I don't know. Nobody even touched them. But all I know is once the Wolven died, everything started going to shit. All right? I'm just a witness, mate. I'm not here. I'm not doing anything.
Make an insight check, Reuben.
Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled a 12 plus 4. That's a 16.
Quick
On a
math.
16, you can't directly see the intention behind it, but you see a flash of recognition in this moose's face when they hear magic being mentioned. And the moose's back straightens, and they turn to the captain, who's kind of standing in the middle of the room at this point, about halfway in between you and the moose, and says, Captain, with the Lord and Lady dead, that would mean that the Lady Kira is the appointed head of this household. We need to wake her up and see what her instructions are for what we do with these people.
Good fucking luck.
And
They
the captain
accidentally kill
says-
her.
the captain says, we've tried to shake her awake. It doesn't seem to be working, and with the nature of her condition, we didn't want to go any further. And he says,
I tried shaking one of them once, and they just fell and died.
Oh, is that player saying that or Reuben saying that? Because you
No,
might
that's
not
me.
want to say that.
No. Jack is talking.
the moose says, let's get her back upstairs to where our medical supplies are, back to her bed. I will revive her. We will see what she has to say about this. And the captain lets out a heavy sigh and is all right. And says, all right, she's the Lady Kira. Help. And she gestures to the two other guards. They very gently approach the bed and together hoist up the young female toy soldier, who you can see kind of by the way they're handling her. There are aspects of her body, particularly her legs, that don't appear to move like they have any ability to, while her left arm kind of dangles and swings openly. They kind of scoop her up together and begin carefully making their way towards the stairs. And the captain and the moose stuffkin head up behind them. And we will pick up there in just a second. Shoal, you are approaching the Must Mansion. On your stealth check, you're very, very confident that you are not being spotted as you approach. And with your survival check, you're actually able to navigate fairly well without having to expose yourself too much to get close to the mansion without being spotted. You get up to about 60 feet out from the mansion. Is there anything you would like to do before pursuing any closer? At this point, you're through the gates. You're inside the manor proper, about 60 feet south on the map, about 60 feet out from the mansion.
Yeah, we want to catch Mage Hand.
Okay.
And have it float. Very like as it's dark out, so like it's our swarm. So like and have it like float along like the surface of the ground, trying to see what is actually going on.
Okay. Make a perception check.
We rolled a 15.
Okay. On a 15, taking a look around, you can see that there are a lot more guards that have been brought onto the premises, and it looks like most of them are engaged in a search. They are slowly making their way away from the mansion itself, and you have kind of gotten underneath them, and they're beginning to search closer to the walls on the outskirts, getting closer to the gate at the front of the manor. And you would assume there's probably some doing the same in the back. Looking at the front of the manor, you can see torchlight illuminating many of the rooms, indicating that there are some people for sure inside and on the first floor. But with a 15, you can also see that there are two guards stationed at the front entrance to the mansion. One is standing at the corner. It's actually directly above where your token is on the map right now, but you're not there. And the other is at the front entrance. And they are both kind of standing watch, each holding a torch in one hand and a shield in the other.
So we would like to make our way to the broken window that we came from.
Okay. I will reveal just for you where that guard is. Just so you can get an idea, you would not be able to get out like of the ground towards the window without having to stealth. You would be spotted for sure.
No, yeah, we're not trying to like pop out. We're just trying to move closer to it so that way we can get the Mage Hand into the window to see what's going on inside.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So staying underground, you're able to get up to kind of the outskirts of the mansion, and you can send your Mage Hand over. Your Mage Hand going over into the through the broken window is now kind of in that closet, that kind of wardrobe dressing area that you had broken through previously. It looks like the doors have been shut to this room. but with your passive perception, you would be able to tell that there are multiple guards in the hallway outside of that closed door.
Okay. Our goal is to locate the party.
Okay.
I'm guessing that we can't do that through the walls of the basement.
So I think roll a d20 for me.
19.
Okay. I think judging by the timing of the scene that we just did and what we're doing now, I think it's very likely that Shoal's passive perception would pick up shouting and the conversations coming up from the basement next to this room.
Okay. Okay. Shoal's going to make their way to the other side of the mansion.
Okay. Are you going around the left-hand side, like around the bedroom of the ward, or are you going the long way around?
The left-hand side, the short way. We are going to the pig pen.
Okay,
That's our final location.
sure. As you make your way towards the pig pen, are you still keeping your mage hand above the ground to observe, or are you keeping everything underground?
Yeah, to observe.
Okay.
It's like
As
kind
you
of like,
make your
honestly, the way
way-
I'm thinking of it is like a submarine with like a little
Yeah, it's like a
periscope up top.
periscope. Yeah. As you make your way around the corner to the rear end of the mansion, heading directly towards the stables in the back, your hand would pick up that there are 2 guards posted outside in front of the rear entrance to the ward's room that you entered through before.
Okay. What about there's another entrance in the back, right?
Yeah, there are a couple entrances in the back.
Okay. What about the other entrances?
So I don't think it would be visually obvious to you, but if you would like, you can make a perception check to see if your mage hand can pick it up.
That is a 9, almost a 20, but it's a 9.
You can see the glaring torchlight of figures holding torches at other entrances on the rear end of the mansion, but you can't tell how many are associated with each bit of light. There's 3 of them.
Okay.
All right. And with your 20 stealth, you're able to make it all the way to the stable. What do you do next?
Okay. We will pop out.
Pop out inside the stable?
Yes.
Or okay.
Because there's no guards in the stable, right?
You do not detect any guards in the stable currently, no.
Okay.
You pop up inside a pig pen. And there are 3 sows in here. And this looks to be the same pen you were in last time.
Okay. Oh, I thought there were more. All right, we will use our free cast of Speak with Animals.
Okay. I'll also clarify that there are more animals in here, just not in the pen that you emerged in.
Oh, there
There's
are more
multiple
animals.
pens. Yeah.
What other animals?
They're mostly pigs. There are 2 pens with goats as well.
Okay. All right. We will use our free cast of Speak with Animals.
Okay.
Everyone, our friends, hello again. Our name is Shoal.
One of the pigs kind of lets out a squeal, and you can tell it's saying, "It's the food!"
It is the food. It is time to eat. But first, we need to distract the guards. The guards don't want us to eat the beast.
When you say it is the food and it's time to eat, they all start hustling over to you, like looking like they're ready to eat you. And then when you say, "But we have to distract the guards," they stop for a second. And one of them says, "What's guards?
people. They don't want us to eat.
I want to eat.
We want to eat too.
Let's eat. And then they all start, their noses start going in. And they start kind of coming up to you.
We need to get away the guards. Goat friends, do you think you can get rid of the guards?
Go ahead and make an animal handling check for me.
This is so brilliant.
You hear a voice call out from a pen on the opposite side of the building, and it says, "Heck yeah, what's a guard?"
They are the bad people. They are standing outside the building. You don't need to do anything. Just get them away from the door so we can get inside.
Do they taste good?
We don't know. Would you like to find out?
Heck yeah.
Let us find out then.
You hear there's a lot of rustling through all the pens as you can hear the animals beginning to get agitated. There's lots of cries about food and squealing and bleeding. What do you do next?
We'll
go over to the goats. There's goats and pigs in there, right? No other animals.
Mm-hmm.
We will go up to them.
Look over there.
Pointing to where the guards are.
So they kind of peer through. The way that this barn is set up, the side walls have like a little window slit through them that's about the head height of the animals. It's a little low for the goats, but one of them sticks their heads down and pokes out, looking out over where you're gesturing.
Yep.
And they say, tasty.
Those are the guards. Get rid of them.
There's a lot of them, but we could try.
Just those two. We just need to get inside.
They start bleeding and kicking the ground excitedly.
Is the it's like an open doors, right? To the barn.
So there is no like closed door to the barn itself. Each of the pens has like a gate that is latched.
Okay. Shoal will open the latch with the goats.
Okay. Just the goats?
Just the goats.
Okay. So you let out the 3 pens that have goats inside. And a little chaos ensues as the goats all run bleeding excitedly out into the open air. Probably the first time ever in the middle of the night that they've done this. And you watch as they scatter across the yard and begin eating grass. And you can hear one of the goats saying to the other, "These guards are great."
I love these animals more than any other character I've met so far.
Okay.
More than bugs.
You do see some torchlight moving as it looks like somebody has gone over to start rounding up these goats.
All right.
We will whisper shout to the goats.
Those guards aren't the beast. There's more inside that building.
Make a animal handling check for me again.
Come on, Shoal.
19.
Okay.
One of the goats says, "But there's a ton of guards right here. You sure there's more inside?"
There is more, and it is better. It is the best guards you will have ever eaten.
Another one, another one walks up to you, kind of licking its lips, and says, "Okay, you watch these guards, and we'll go get the guards inside."
Of course, friend.
Chaos at its finest.
And of the of the 18 goats that are now out in the field, about 6 of them begin running at the main entrance to the mansion. You can see they run up in between the colonnade of columns that kind of hold up the patio in the back, and you hear shouting and crashing noises as they begin to kind of ram and kick at the front doors, or I should say the back doors, but the main entrance doors. And you can hear cries as people are like, "Come on, wait, no, get him, grab him." And it seems like a bit of a scuffle has broken out among the guards in the back here as they try to wrangle these 6 goats.
Does it look like there are still guards at the side door that we entered before? Or are they like going over to the scuffle?
It looks like, hold on. Both of them have walked away from that door and are not all the way over there, but they have walked forward so that they can see around the corner to the colonnade, and they're calling out. You hear one of them call out, "What's going on?"
Turning to the pigs.
It is our turns now, friends.
And we'll open the pig latches.
Okay.
And say, "We are going for those 2."
There is a loud squealing chorus as about 15 large pigs come running out onto the back of the property as well. They don't seem to get it entirely either, but they are running around now and starting to like chase after each other, chase after some of the goats, eat some of the food on the ground. But they don't seem to be necessarily making their way to where you directed them.
Are the guards concerned?
They seem a little occupied with the goats that are bashing down the rear doors of the of the mansion, but it is chaos out here at this point.
So using this chaos as cover, we're going to go to the back door and open it stealthily.
Okay.
The one that went to the Wolven's room?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check for me.
Oh,
13.
such a tease.
Okay. You approach the rear door to the ward's bedroom. It is no longer guarded, as those 2 guards are now making their way up onto the colonnade. And you are able to enter the room.
Is the door into...
No, go ahead.
Is the door into the hallway with the secret staircase, with the secret door? Is that open, or is that door shut?
So the door into the hallway with the secret room is open, and I will say, with your blind sense, you can tell that there are 2 guards in there. There are 2 living people inside the hallway.
Okay. Shoal will shout to the pigs.
Everyone in pig language.
Okay.
Or in
Pig language is not silence, though. I will.
That's fine.
Okay.
Because we are inside. The food is in here. Come quick.
Okay. Make an handling check.
Okay.
12.
Okay. You see about 4 pigs kind of look up and start waddling over to you. Seemingly interested in getting this food that's inside, and they come through the doorway.
And pointing him to the hallway.
And as you do that, you also hear the 2 guards being alerted to that cry that you made.
Shoal's gonna hide under the bed.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
Oh no! What if one of the pigs triggers the trap?
17.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, the 4 pigs walk into the bedroom. As they do, you see a female toy knight pokes their helmet out around the doorway. And hold on, let me see here. I just need to get the names. Okay. She pokes her head out and she says, Tom, I think the pigs are loose. And
No shit, Sherlock.
and you hear someone else say, what? And 2 guards make their way into this room as like 4 pigs try to make their way through that door. And they start scrambling to try and receive the pigs and like get hands on them and start redirecting them. And it becomes a whole ordeal. And I'm going to have them make animal handling checks.
I hope they fail.
Okay. The the toy knight approaches one of the pigs and is like, all right, come on now, get out here, get out. And they're kind of clapping their hands. And the pig goes and kicks that guard in the shins. And you hear them curse under their breath. And they take some damage. But the other one seems to be successfully wrangling the other 3 pigs.
3 pigs at once?
No, not at once. This takes an extended period of time. But I'm assuming, unless you're trying to do anything, Shoal, you're hiding under the couch while this ordeal is playing out.
So the guards came into this room. This is all happening in this room.
Correct. Yeah. Let me I can also show you.
Starting to think we should have led with pigs.
Okay.
Hindsight.
Pigs should have been plan.
Okay. So yeah, we're watching.
Backup
Okay.
plan Z.
Yeah, so it takes a long period of time, but eventually the guards start making their way out of the bedroom towards the back with all of the pigs. And they're like, come on now, get out of here, get out. Kind of wrangling them out into the yard. And as they do that, you hear the other guard, who's a male poppet, say, "Oh, they're all out!" As he gets outside, looking at the field that is just filled with farm animals right now. And they make their way out.
All right. Shoal will come out from under the couch. Are there any guards in this hallway?
I will let you know that in just a second.
Okay.
But first, we are going to return to the basement.
So they had just left. So all of that happened at the same time as what was happening to us?
Towards the end of what was happening to you guys, because he heard the shouting. So
Right.
they heard the shouting. Jake heard the shouting. Okay. We are back in the basement. Now empty except for the 2 guards that were guarding the door. The fire crackling, the bodies of the deceased laid in lines across the open floor here. Reuben, you are the only one that is conscious currently. Well, you are conscious.
Wait.
No. She got punched out.
Oh,
Rayna
yeah.
got punched, into unconsciousness. Oh, which, by the way, roll a d4 for me.
Oh no!
Rayna.
What? Okay.
It's to how long you'll be
To
out.
see how long it takes for you to wake up.
All right.
Give us ones.
It was
3 hours.
3. Oh
3
no!
Um.
Oh boy.
So I'm just alone with those guards.
You're alone with those 2 guards, Reuben. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about yourselves. Are you guys work for anyone else, or you just guards for the estate?
Make a persuasion check.
I'm just making. Can I make a conversation check? I'm just kidding.
Sure. Well, so think of it less as a persuasion check and more of like a, how much do they like me check.
Yeah.
Insight check.
You see one of them kind of angrily says, like, "No, we only work here," but doesn't say much more.
That was a good try.
Well, I'm only asking because I don't know anything about what was going on here, and I just making conversation. Strictly curious if you could tell me what the heck is going on here.
He says, I think it's the other way around. I think it's you that needs to tell us what's going on here. And then his back straightens, and you can hear footsteps coming down the staircase. The captain returns, walking briskly down the stairs, kind of businesslike, and immediately starts giving orders to the 2 guards that are down here. She says, "Okay, we're going to need the bodies moved to a room upstairs. The enforcers will be here sometime soon, so we'll need to set these 3 aside so that they can be interrogated in case we don't get any word otherwise." And as they're speaking, there is a pronounced, pained, shrieking sound that comes from up above the stairs. Just like a... and you hear running as hold on, let me check my notes here.
As a man being consumed by a pig runs by.
That's right.
Pig will
Oh,
eat
dear.
anything.
A male toy soldier guard comes running down the stairs, and he looks visually very distraught, pale as a ghost, and says, "Captain, there's some kind of girl here. She killed Daryl." And you hear just the light pitter patter of footsteps coming down the stairs. And the captain says, "To arms, to arms!" And the 2 guards at the door raise their swords and shields and face it. As the one that just ran down the stairs starts walking back.
Hello, I can help you fight.
They get behind the captain.
Help a guy out. I'll help you out.
Make a. Are you going to really help them if they let you free?
Absolutely. This sounds
I have
terrible.
Okay, make a persuasion
So
check.
many questions.
Well, everybody's. I mean, okay. From Reuben's perspective, everybody's grabbing their arms. They look scared. So I think he's going to perceive that as like, I need to do something about this, or I'm going to die tied up here, right? I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, I think that makes total sense.
Well, I rolled a 16 plus 3. That's a 19.
The captain, it looks like, has not paid you any regard. And it's just kind of carefully trained on this doorway. You look, and there is this wild panic in the eyes of the guard behind the captain who came down the stairs. And you can see in their eyes, they're so afraid that they think they need to help you. That they think they need your help. And they start approaching you and start trying to undo your bonds frantically.
All right, that's good enough. That's good enough. Where's my sword? Where's my sword? Do you?
Oh, so they haven't done it entirely yet.
Okay.
But the captain says, "Saunders, quit it!" And as they say that, around the doorway appears a short, maybe 3.5, 4 foot tall female doll with pale white skin and rosy red cheeks. They have red hair in 2 pigtails that becomes a dark tinge of purple at the base of the tips of the pigtails. And there's some type of scarring. It almost looks like the stitches of like an old scar, but it's in the shape of a diamond on the forehead of this girl. Her eyes are eerily a little yellow. And she doesn't seem to be paying much attention to anybody who's in here. Looks kind of just content and begins walking into the room, walking directly towards the 3 beds and the altar that are in the opposite corner. As she does so, the captain gestures with their sword and says, "Who are you? You're in the estate of Lord Cornelius Must. Identify yourself. You're trespassing. Stand still." And you can see the guards are kind of looking at the captain, kind of confused, like, what do we do here? And the girl doesn't appear to respond and continues walking forward. They're wearing like a light blue kind of frilly dress that has like a white apron over it, and their hands kind of swing to their sides as they walk, and they begin to make their way almost to like the middle of the room when the captain steps forward and says, grab her, and runs forward and tries to grab the shoulders of the girl.
Do any, like, is this a familiar thing at all, this little girl?
No, this is not familiar to you. In
like
fact,
a little doll?
It's bizarrely strange, like a toy doll, like the race of doll in the Wilder. Yeah. But it appears to be like maybe like 5 years old. Let me just make sure I get this right. What kind of, okay, good. I'm glad I checked that. It's the wrong save.
Lots of enigmatic stuff happening this episode.
Yeah.
The captain places their hands on the girl, and you see her eyes just look at the captain almost as if like she wasn't paying attention, and this was her first time even noticing that the captain was in the room. Her eyes flick at the captain for a second, and then you watch as a pained look comes over the captain's face. It kind of contorts for a second in shock before her body, armor, everything about her collapses into dust and she disappears.
I like her.
And
I want to draw her. She sounds super cool.
The girl continues walking forward. You see now she pulls her hands back from behind her back and she is holding a bucket. And she kind of looks around the room and does a big sweep of her hand like this. And you watch as all the pools of blood all throughout the room, underneath the bodies of the Lord and Lady and the Wolven, all begin to flow again up into the air, into a ball above the bucket, and then stream into the bucket, filling it up to the top.
What about the blood that's in my bag?
Oh yeah, we brought a bucket of blood.
Yeah,
bucket,
and they're
they're
in
bottles.
unsecured bottles. That's true, because they were broken. Yeah. So yeah, that blood would come too.
Okay.
And
I forgot I had it until the beginning of this episode, and I was like, oh, I could have thrown it at someone in the past 2 episodes, and I fucking didn't.
He's like an elfin lead or like 11 from Stranger Things kind of character.
It's I'm assuming this is the fox.
the bucket fills to the brim with blood, and then there's still some blood in the sphere, the globule in the air, and it just splashes to the ground. And she turns around and starts walking away, and starts heading back up the stairs.
Okay.
She just leaves us. Leaves us behind?
It looks like she's about to, yeah.
Hey, we didn't challenge her, you know?
But, okay.
And right at that point, Reuben just starts rubbing his binds on the wall because they're almost done.
So this entire time, the other guards are all still in here. They are just holding their swords and shields, shaking, staying like 10 feet back from the girl, looking back and forth between the pile of dust that was their captain and her. And they seem like terrified, unsure of whether to get closer, unwilling to step any further away. And it takes a moment after the blood crashes to the ground, but they all start shouting. And they're like, stop! Don't go any further!
I would leave it alone. I'd probably leave it alone.
And that guard successfully unties you, Reuben. And
I just hit my desk really hard.
The guards begin to follow the girl up the stairs, and you hear them about halfway up. One of them says to the other, "What should we stay?" And the other goes, I don't want to stay, man. I don't want to stay.
And Reuben mutters, yeah, you can lead a horse to water, am I right?
And one guard, hold on. It was the male doll who was originally guarding the stairs. He comes back down the stairs, pale as a sheet, and he points his sword at you and says, I think we should stay here. I don't think we should go.
Yeah, no need to point that at me or anything. I'm on your side, buddy.
Okay. And we will return to Shoal after this break.
Wild. Just wild.
I'm so happy with that little interaction.
Oh god, we stumbled into something even worse.
Hey, you guys weren't supposed to be here. You're supposed to be gone by now.
You're supposed to be here today.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, I hope you all are enjoying so far. We'll be back in about 15 minutes to continue this episode. So stick around to find out what happens next. And welcome back. All right. Shoal, you are making your way towards the doorway into the hall that you know has the secret wall that leads down to the basement. As you do, you make a perception check for me.
24. Oh, why didn't it show up?
Oh,
There's a 17 plus 7, and now it's a 12.
Oh, rip.
out of like your peripheral vision, not that Shoal has any, but your peripheral vision, out of the corner of your attention as you turn into the doorway, you see the little edge of a dress swirling as the wearer of said dress turns around the corner of the other doorway and is seemingly walking away. You would also notice on a 12 perception check that there are strange lines of blood painted on the floor in this hallway.
Are there any guards?
There don't appear to be any guards.
All right. So Shoal will start walking. Note, remembering not to step where the darts are.
Yes, the spring of that trap has been deactivated.
Okay.
I think so. You probably don't need to worry about it. But yeah, you evade the darts for sure.
So Shoal's going to go into that side room.
The
Oh,
when you
I
say
can
side
move.
room, do you mean
This one.
Yeah. Okay.
And look. We'll try to open the door. Make sure it's open.
Yes, the door is open.
Okay. All right. Shoal is gonna walk up to the top of the stairs. Any
Okay.
guards?
No guards.
Shoal is going to walk down the stairs a bit. Any guards?
After you get about the first 5 feet down the steps, or maybe a bit more than that, but around there, your blind sense would pick up that there is one guard standing at the bottom of this doorway. And as you pause to kind of recognize that, you also hear a loud, shrieking, pained sound coming from somewhere else in the mansion.
How far?
Make a perception check.
Nat 20.
Wow.
It seems to be on the other half of the house, the other half of the mansion, but close to the middle.
Okay.
But far enough to the other direction that you know it's on the other side.
Is the guard doing anything that's in this room?
You can tell with a natural 20 that they are trembling.
Okay. Shoal would
Shaken
like
in their boots, you
And-
might say.
all right, so Shoal would like to creep down and see what direction they're facing. Like stealthily.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
18.
Nice. On an 18, you're able to get far enough down that you can tell without exposing yourself yet that they are against the wall next to the doorway, kind of not looking through it, but kind of looking past it, holding onto their spear and shield.
Okay. Mage hand
Mm-hmm.
by the altar.
Okay.
And just like a little rustling, doing something that would startle somebody that was already startled.
Okay.
But loud enough where it would be like kind of
What's the range on your mage hand?
30. Or can I see the basement map?
Yeah, I'll pull it up and put you on it. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, so I don't think your mage hand would be able to reach to the opposite end of the room, but you could like grab some rocks that are within 30 feet in the opposite direction, give them a toss.
Where's the guard? The guard is like right by us.
Yes, the guard is here. I can make them visible as well. There.
The child is still here? No, the child is gone, right?
You do not see anybody except for this guard and Reuben, Anna, and Rayna tied up on the floor.
I think
All
her
right.
thing is just there, but she's not there.
Okay. So yeah, Shoal will with the mage hand pick up a rock and throw it at the altar in that general direction.
Make a sleight of hand check for me.
21.
Easily done. And you see the guard kind of jump when they hear the clatter of the stones, and they turn to you, Reuben, and say, "Are you doing that? Are you doing that?"
When he turns, Shoal will enter the room visibly.
Okay.
You lot are so accusatory. Doing what?
You're not
You're
stealthing
unbound.
anymore, Shoal, correct?
No, Shoal is stealthing.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not. I forgot about that.
Yes, Reuben, you're not bound. Okay, Shoal, what are you doing?
club in hand, or quarterstaff in hand, ready to take an action if the guard goes to attack the guard.
Okay.
It is time to go. There is chaos upstairs.
Make an intimidation check, please.
14.
You're like the
Oh,
third
minus
craziest
2.
thing this guy's seen tonight. He's like, for God's sake.
Okay.
Listen, I have kids. I just want to go home.
So he jumps and reflexively swings his long sword at you. He is technically attacking you.
Club him. Club him.
So we'll let him attack first.
Okay. Let me just find you on the combat tracker here. He gets an 18 to hit.
That hits.
He deals 8 damage.
Okay.
And then starts running past you and starts running up the stairs.
So we'll look past him, look at him running away, and
That was easy. But we need to go now.
and seeing that Reuben is untied, going over to Rayna and giving Rayna the health potion that Flynn gave us.
And then Reuben will walk over to Anna and do the same thing with his health potion.
Okay.
9 health.
Well,
Or is it just 7? I don't know what Flynn's potion is.
It's
But
Flynn's
plus
potion
2.
is, yeah. No, it's not +2 for Flynn's potion,
okay.
Oh.
right?
So
There's a potion of healing that is plus 2.
I gave him a full potion of healing.
So 9
Oh,
health.
okay.
I
Okay.
have 9 health.
Mm-hmm.
I think you used the moderate one on the dude, right? So like that
Yeah.
was the one that didn't have the.
Wait, how did you roll directly for the health potion like that?
I didn't. I just rolled
Oh.
4.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Or the
Anna.
class.
Anna and Rayna, you both come to consciousness, lying restrained on the cold stone floor of this basement, fire crackling, and you see Shoal and Reuben above you.
Silver.
Cut the. There is no time. There is no time. We need to leave right now. No questions. Cut.
Break Rayna's bonds with an arrow or a dart. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Now.
We are leaving, and she'll walk.
Sounds reasonable to me, I guess. I do want to know what we missed, though. Rena will follow.
Am I being untied?
Yes, I think Reuben was untying you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then.
Oh, yeah. That, and while I'm untying, I threw my sword down.
Yep.
Can we just agree that it's nearby, or is it not?
Yeah.
Where is it? Okay.
Yeah, it would be by the entrance to this room.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Hopefully we all retrieve our weapons.
I just
Mhm.
spent a bunch of money on that dang thing. I need to.
Yeah,
Yes.
you wouldn't want to lose it for sure.
She'll going to do a perception check at the top of the stairs to see where the guards are. If the guards are back in that room, where or they're still chasing the animals, or if they're now going to the commotion
Yeah.
where the screaming came from.
Yeah, make a perception check.
Ooh.
On a 24, you can hear no sign of guards being in the close vicinity. You can faintly hear enough of a clamor that would indicate there are still some guards trying to wrangle farm animals. You also hear another scream of pain. And on a 24, I'll tell you, you can tell it's towards the other end of the house, further away.
Okay.
Is anybody behind Shoal?
I'm assuming we've all moved to follow. At least I have.
Okay.
Anna's just like, I'm
Yeah.
get me the
Reuben,
fuck outta
Rayna
here.
following suit as well.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
So
Also, kind of noting. All right, Shoal's the only one with full health. Or who's healthy.
No.
Let's keep a loose follow.
Shoal. So I forgot to ask. When Shoal was in that little reading room, the side room, was that guard still posted outside?
I don't think from the window you would be able to see.
Okay.
Even hold on. Let's say that you walked up to the window with your blind sense. I think you would be able to sense that they are not there anymore.
Okay. All right. We will lead everybody to that room, or like we will lead everybody to that room.
All right. So
Woven room?
Shoal leads the group up the stairs and into the
Oh.
hallway,
Oh.
and heads down the hall into the wardrobe room that they had escaped in just moments before. As the rest of you come up into this room, you also notice these lines and patterns throughout this room on the floor that look to consist of blood.
Does it look like it means anything, or is it just like lines of blood where bodies had been dragged or something?
Yeah, patterns is interesting.
Oddly specific.
Yes.
So I think it would be visually obvious that these are some type of text in some way. And the pattern you are seeing is of a circular nature. There's curved lines arching around the corner of the room.
Could any of us read it?
Yeah, read it or know what it is.
I don't think any of you are proficient in Arcana, so I don't think you would be able to read it.
Oh, okay.
Is this taking time? Like, are they stopping? Are you guys stopping?
No,
and
no, no,
staring?
no.
No,
We're walking
I'm just
actively.
Okay,
I'm
good.
just
Looking
discussing
around.
the information
No,
we're
yeah.
passively getting.
It's noticing it, seeing
Hey,
if
come
you
here.
do anything.
Anna,
Take a look.
can you read that? No? How about Rayna?
Do
All
any
right.
of us have a photographic memory?
No.
No.
Definitely
Right.
not.
Yeah.
All right. Shoal, do you lead them through the window?
Shoal is going to do mage hand as far out as possible, just trying to detect any guards.
Okay. Make a perception check.
13.
Wow.
You can see that there are a few guards that are moving further away from the house, towards the entrance to the manor, but they're like 80 feet away, so they probably would not spot you guys
Okay.
here. It looks like they're searching the property,
What
not
is
looking
the
at the mansion.
what's the likelihood that any of the guards that saw us are still alive? I know a couple would have.
Yeah, it doesn't seem likely that all of them have been killed.
Okay.
Shoal will turn to the rest of the group. And direct everybody out the window.
Okay.
Well, if you're going to use hand gestures, use ones that we know.
Don't question it, just go.
All right. It takes you some time just to be careful not to scrape yourselves against the broken glass, but you were able to all get
Anna goes
over the
unconscious
window. And you are out on the property grounds. Just in between you, the wall behind you, and the property ahead is a hedge of bushes.
Did we leave we didn't leave the rope there, did we? We took it back. We did?
Shoal's. That was full
Uh,
rope.
Oh yeah.
I took it apart and took
Okay.
it with
Yeah.
us.
That's what I thought.
Shoal will point to the bushes.
To the bushes.
And we are going underground. We do not want to hear any objections. It worked for Lynn. It will work for you. And
Oh.
Hold on one second. Just DM clarification. It wouldn't work for all of them.
Oh, not at once.
Right. Yeah. If you want to pull them each through one by one,
How long
you
would
could
that
do
take?
that.
Are we just
it'd
going
take a
like
pretty
under
long
the
time.
fence? I'm assuming.
How long is a pretty long time?
So your burrow speed is 15
15.
feet, and you would move at half speed with somebody with you. So you'd be moving 7 feet.
Nope, never mind.
Can
well, 7
Per
feet
round.
first. Within 6 seconds.
6
so it's
seconds. So in a minute,
what is
you
that?
could, yeah, in a minute you could move 70 feet.
the guards are scattering anyway,
So it
right?
would take you like 8 minutes, 10 minutes.
Per person?
No, total.
Yes, fine. Fine.
Okay.
I mean, we
They're in the
basically
bushes. They're hidden.
just
right?
need to go under the fence.
Everyone
right?
make a stealth check for me if we're hiding in the bushes.
We're hiding in the bushes.
Stealth check it is.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
That's a 6.
I rolled a 6 too, +4.
I got a nat 20 though.
I rolled a
so
2.
Nice.
maybe
So
I'll
this
cancel
thing-
us out.
Stoll is going to take Anna first because Anna looks the most fucked up out of all.
Good
Okay.
choice.
Thankfully, it's night, so my smoke is not as noticeable.
Yeah, Anna, it is extremely uncomfortable as all this dirt and rock is dragged past you. It kind of feels like being in a like a dirt sausage casing and you're being pulled through it.
What a great
And
metaphor.
yeah. And it takes a couple minutes, but you surface outside the estate proper by the intersection, the general road, public roadways for the estate.
So we're not even by like the like crop area. Like I am out.
You're out. Yeah, you're
Okay.
on the opposite side. So you guys approach the mansion from the rear,
Mm-hmm.
infiltrating in through the fields. The mansion lets out to the outside of the
Okay.
estate onto the
Okay.
general roadway, and that's where you are now.
Okay.
I will note that as Shoal brings you up, Shoal, with your passive perception, it would be visually obvious to you that as the guards you saw were walking away, they are approaching this area to begin searching. So,
Get back. Get back to the cell or wherever we are now.
The
Happy sea dog.
Happy or no. Wait. Find.
Shoal gets a brain
good?
freeze.
Shall we got the hurry.
That's natural. Wait for us over there. So, is there any trees or anything like that?
Yeah, there are like small trees and bushes that line the roadway. There's definitely viable hiding spots if somebody wanted to try and hide.
We will be back.
Okay.
So we'll whoop, dive back down.
I was
Okay.
gonna try to make her way over to the place to hide.
Okay.
Do I need to roll
Um,
another stealth.
Yes, you're going to need to roll another stealth check.
It's 8.
Okay. Shoal, it takes you another. Well, it doesn't take you as long actually going back, right? So, you get back much more quickly, and Shoal resurfaces below Rayna and Reuben. Who are you taking next?
Rayna looks more injured.
Yes, yeah, Rayna would definitely look more injured.
Okay, but can we even see Rayna with a nat 20 stealth, or I guess with blind sense?
Yeah. Plus, you knew where she was.
Okay. We will take Reuben next.
Okay. About halfway through your trip with Reuben, Rayna, I would like you to make a perception check.
Okay. Perception. I got a 17 plus 1 is 18.
Okay. As you're crouched in the bushes here, you feel something tremble beneath you, and it's not shoal resurfacing. The ground is beginning to shake.
Like
And
an
you
earthquake?
hear a deep creaking, like a and
The house
it
about to
sounds like
collapse in on itself?
the mansion behind you is becoming structurally unsound somehow.
Oh.
What? Rayna would start scrambling in the opposite direction of the house quietly, but like that would be worrisome.
Okay. Rayna starts moving on foot, and you start running away from the mansion. Glancing back over your shoulder, you can see through any of the rooms that are on the first floor that aren't concealed by curtains. There is a dark purple glow flickering in each of the rooms,
Oh.
and the groaning is getting louder and louder.
I don't like that.
Being underground, do Shoal and Reuben feel it?
You begin to feel it, yes. And you're about 3/4 of the way back to Anna at this point.
I would be trying to go A in the opposite direction of the house, but B in whatever direction I guessed Shoal went in.
Yeah. You know that Shoal is there taking people to the road by the entrance to the property, which is directly south on the map of where the mansion is. So you would just head off in that direction.
Okay.
Shoal will pop up with
Okay.
Reuben to look at the mansion, see what's going on.
Okay. Both of you make a perception check, please.
Nat 20.
Jesus.
Ah, finally, here they are.
3 + 6 = 9.
You all pop up, and the first thing that you see looking back at the mansion is Rayna running towards you two. And it's as you see that frantic running that the shaking of the ground starts to catch up to you. And you can see the mansion shaking, and then there is a loud crashing noise as you can Shoal, you can see all of this perfectly. You can see shreds of the floorboards in the rooms are exploding upwards, breaking and shattering all the windows and blowing out some of the walls of the rooms on the first floor of this building. And then the dark purple glow comes even brighter from beneath the floorboards. There is a massive explosion as the rooftop of the mansion turns to splinters and goes flying off into the air. And Reuben, though you can't catch all of those details, you see 4 large, dark, inky black tendrils explode outward up into the sky, almost becoming as dark as the night itself, were it not for the dark purple glow that outlines each of them. And they begin whipping about and smashing and pummeling the rest of the mansion, what remains of it, as all of the walls are blown asunder, crushed, and destroyed. And Rayna, you hear the aftermath of all of this behind you as a shower of splinters comes down from the sky.
I imagine this is familiar to me and is triggering.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm going to run back towards the building.
Okay.
Wait, Shoal is still holding Reuben.
Familiar
Like, we're
to
not
you?
like fully up. We're
Yeah, it's true.
heads
You're not
up
out
and
of the
down.
ground. Yeah, but you can climb out of the ground.
Well, since I see all that, he's gonna frantically crawl out of the ground and just start running back towards the building.
All right, make an athletics or acrobatics check, and
Good.
she'll
Does-
make an athletics check.
Does Rayna see him?
Hmm?
Like, am I close enough to like intervene?
I rolled
Yeah,
a
so
19 plus 4.
essentially what you see is as you are running, you see the two head-like forms pop out of the ground, and you can see the bunny ears of Reuben in the night begin struggling as Reuben breaks free of Shoal's grasp and climbs the rest of the way out of the dirt and starts running back towards you.
I want to try to tackle him and stop him.
Okay.
Do you need me to roll athletics or something?
Yep, and Reuben, you need to roll acrobatics.
Oh, for the tackle.
This is the second
me?
contested grapple.
I
Wait, is
rolled
he
a-
running towards it?
He
Yeah.
is.
Yes.
I rolled a
Oh.
14 plus 4, 18.
I only got a 10, and I had
Yep.
a +5.
Reuben
You-
nimbly jumps through your arms and does a little somersault and just keeps running.
Yep, you
Rayna-
dive forward and Reuben just jumps over you and continues running full breakneck speed towards the mansion. At this point, almost none of the mansion is left. And these tendrils are now just swinging around and they're knocking large pieces of the wall and stuff like that over. And you can see that their reach is extending. They're beginning to destroy even the buildings behind the mansion.
What are you doing? Rayna would be yelling toward Reuben as he's going by, like, are you insane?
Question, DM.
Yes.
Do I recognize this?
You're not
You do
nearby. Oh. Can they see it from where they are?
I'm
Anna can see
outside
it.
of the mansion.
I thought Shoal moved you far enough away.
No, I was
Well,
dropped
so
out.
this is less of a comment on how close Anna is and more of a comment on how large the incident that's happening right now is.
I'm assuming,
Oh.
giant tentacles taking out an entire house. I'm sure you would see that if you looked in the general direction.
I don't know.
Yeah, certainly the flying debris would be audible and partially visible in the moonlight. Reuben, you get to the point
Wait,
where
did you say
you
no
are-
then? I don't recognize it? Or I don't?
No, it doesn't appear immediately familiar to you now.
Okay, cool.
Reuben, you get rapidly to the point now, pretty much once you get like 20 feet away from Rayna, you get to the point where if you get any closer, you're very likely going to begin taking blows from these whipping tendrils.
It's like the Whomping Willow.
In frustration, I also can't really act this out because I don't want to freak out my neighbor. But he's so frustrated that he just yells, "Fuck you!"
God.
Reuben cries out into the night as the air is filled with other cries of people rushing about the property in panic, crashing debris and smashing. But that cry of Reuben is definitely audible to everyone in the area.
I think having been unable to stop Reuben, Rayna would probably be panicking and probably running toward where she thinks Anna and I don't know, Shoal might be what Shoal's doing, but like away.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure at this point Anna has gotten up from her hiding place because whatever the fuck's happening is scrambling as far away from that as she can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rayna, leave him. We need to go.
Oh God,
He'll be
I'm
fine.
ahead of. I don't know about that. Rayna is just like way ahead of you. She's not feeling cavalier at this point, though. She's just going.
So, we are.
We're booking it at this point, like
Yeah.
on land.
So it's not.
Reuben, you are on your knees in front of this destruction that's unfolding before you. And I imagine just the sheer cacophony of it leaves your ears ringing. And just kind of distantly in the background, you can hear your allies crying out, "We need to go. We have to leave." What does Reuben do?
Single tear comes down, and
Man pain.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He pulls out his short bow and takes a shot at a tentacle. Just anything. He's just he doesn't even care at this point.
Roll
Or longbow.
a-
Why did I say short bow?
You have a longbow? Jealous.
Yeah. I'm a ranger.
So am I.
Also a ranger.
Both rangers, yeah.
Oh. Do I not have my short or my longbow?
I think you have special martial training to use the longbow.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no. You have a short bow, or no, short sword. Yeah, that's right. You have a longbow.
Okay. So I guess I'll just roll for that.
Yeah, roll an attack.
Oh,
I guess too many tears, lots of salt in the eyes, you know.
you tried to go for the manly 1 tier, but instead you're just sobbing. You're like,
The chaos of what's unfolding before you is so intense, you can't really tell if the blow struck true or not, but an arrow goes flying into this mess.
He's just gonna rapid fire, just like
equivalent of like, just shooting a gun into the air.
yeah.
Okay, give me 5 more attack rolls.
This is pretty accurate too.
Okay.
I'll just roll them all.
Now one more.
And then I'll announce them all after I'm done. Okay,
Those
my
are some
first
good
attack
rolls.
was a 4 + 6, 10. My second attack was a 15 + 6, 21. Third attack was a critical hit. It was +6, that's 26. And then the fourth was a 16 + 6, that's 22. And then a 15 + 6, that's 21.
Okay.
So how many damage rolls do I get to do?
You get to roll 4,
4.
You get to
Okay.
roll 1.
and one of them is your crit. So,
Wait, you said 3, right? Or 4? Wait.
no.
4.
So you get to roll 4, but one of the 4 is a crit, so you need to roll the damage die twice. Go ahead and just roll damage 4 times and see if it does it automatically. No, it doesn't. Nice. All right. In quick succession, you begin firing these shots off into this whirling mess of inky blackness. And it's happening so fast that you at first aren't really aiming too hard. You're really just frustrated and expressing your frustration. But as that frustration intensifies, you slow down and begin to focus, the shots firing more and more accurately. One hits and another and another. And in slow motion, you can see as your shots all collide into one of the tendrils, it almost begins to turn back around and come swinging at you with its full force.
Oh,
The
no.
tip of this tendril kind of barreled up almost into like the size of a large keg or barrel. And as it's extending towards you, your rage just peaks and you fire off a blast and you watch it connect with the tendril, and that barrel just burst. And the tendril stop just short of hitting you and kind of recoil and go back to the swirling mass. Looks like it took some damage.
Keep at it. Maybe you'll kill it.
No.
Is it
Don't
Is it
draw
still
its
kind of swinging
attention.
at me? Can I climb on a tendril and start stabbing?
They're not close enough now. It's kind of reeled away from you after having actually received a hit.
Sir, do you have a
It
death
doesn't
wish?
seem to be. It doesn't seem to be going back at you.
Okay.
Hmm.
Then I guess I mean, that's what Reuben would do. He's gonna keep attacking.
Oh no.
How
Okay.
many arrows do I have? I don't even
Is
know
this
how
like
fair
your
this
moment
is.
of glory? Like you're like, this is how I go out? I'm old and this is my last stand.
I'm old.
So, as you begin to fire your next shots,
Do you really want to make a new character?
you see something that's even more familiar to you, Reuben, which is the tendrils beginning to shrink in size and recede, getting smaller and smaller, focusing closer and closer to the center of where the mansion once was, until they become so small that they become impossible to see from the fire and smoke that's beginning to grow out of the rubble that once was the Must Mansion.
So they're gone
And I
now?
think Reuben knows too well what that last moment looks like, and you know what's happening in there.
Go ahead, run again, you fucking coward. So all you do is take, and then just run off. Till next time. And then he retreats back to the group. He just starts walking back after that.
So
Okay.
The
Did we
group
hear
is
him?
gone.
yeah, do we
Yeah.
see this? Like, what this obvious?
Anna's
I
going.
think
Yeah, because like Shoal is at the gate, just like watching, waiting for Reuben.
okay, yeah. If you're at the gate, watching, I think you would see this. Yeah, Anna and Rayna, I'd think probably not if you're just rushing out.
No.
Okay.
Anna's almost died one too many times. She's like, fuck that.
Yeah. Oof.
Okay. Reuben turns and you walk back to the gate. At this point, everyone seems to have fled the area or is no longer alive. That there doesn't seem to be anybody on the premises any longer. And so you're able to make your way to the gate and reconnect with Shoal.
We need to go. Please. Please. They need us.
All right, let's go.
Let's try to find them. Let's try to find Anna and Rayna.
Oh,
And I
thought
think
they were with us.
no, they didn't. They kept going, but I think
Dude.
you can see them down the road. Like,
Oh, okay.
We pieced out. This is not safe.
I'm sure Anna's not going very fast considering she has 5 hit points.
yeah,
She's
Yeah.
like kind of hobbling along.
yeah. And so Shoal and Reuben, you were able to leave the Must estate behind and begin traveling down the roads of the estates. Eventually catching up to Anna and Rayna.
Do you think a mission will ever go right?
Where the hell is Flynn?
Flynn's back. He is okay. We are so relieved that you are okay. We were so nervous. We don't know what we would do without you. Please, can we go back and meet up with Flynn?
Insects are all quivering at this point.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. Rayna would turn toward Reuben and say, "What were you thinking? Are you insane? You could have been killed."
Please, we just talk once we're
Flynn,
safe. We want to get
Sorry.
back.
Reuben favors Shoal's approach to confronting me.
Fair enough.
And walks up and he says, I gotta fight my battles, mate. You understand? Let's go. And he just shakes it all off and just goes back.
Shoal's gonna go up to Anna and try to like offer like support, like a half hug.
Anna will take it.
Okay. And I think with a lot of confusion and frustration and a profound feeling of smallness, the group makes the rest of their trip back to the Happy Sea Dog in silence.
Are we being followed?
make a perception check. Imagine
the
getting
blessing.
another nat 20 here.
24.
Still good.
Great.
Better
On a
than anything I've rolled.
24, you can see there is a figure watching you. They
Are they-
are far off in the distance. Back behind you all, they appear to be walking. They are probably somewhere between like 5 to 6 feet tall. They have a hood on. You can't really see much more of their features in the moonlight. But they seem to be very far back and just walking in the same direction you are all.
We need to make a detour. Just please trust us. Please.
And Shoal's going to try to go a little bit, like directing the group kind of out of the way to see if this thing is going to keep following us.
Okay. Yeah. Make a
Okay.
survival check for me.
14.
Okay. You spend some time taking the group through a few additional detours. You turn into the boat-led market early, instead of going around it directly to Keelhaul Heights, and you kind of travel down a few blocks of the boat-led markets, turning back and forth, before finally making your way towards Keelhaul Heights directly. Go ahead and make another perception check for me.
Nat 20.
Jesus Christ.
Another nat 20. Are you serious?
Shoal is
That is
on
crazy.
their
Fantasy
game.
Grounds is given back tonight.
Yeah.
That's me.
Just to
It's
Shoal.
screwing me
Just to
the same
Shoal
as
and Reuben.
usual.
To be fair, my nat 20 was amongst like 7 20 or D20 rolls.
Okay. Give Shoal the info, but I want to. Rayna wants to do something too.
On a natural 20, as you are beginning to ascend the incline that is Keelhaul Heights and travel up to the Happy Sea Dog, Joel, you look back down behind you, and on a natural 20, you can see a thumb-headed doll in leathers with knives at his waist that you would recognize as Brannick.
The thumb.
Is
Oh my god. I thought the little.
no.
No,
I
it's
heard
the
doll
thumb.
and freaked out.
No.
Yeah. Too tall.
Male
this time.
doll, bald headed, big brown head, wearing a hood. And you can tell that they definitely don't think you have seen them, but they're just about 110 feet back.
Everyone. Brannick has been following us since the mansion. The doll from Beos.
It's probably to make sure either we got the job done or to come finish us off if we fucked it up.
He has a belt of knives.
Pretty normal.
Just
I
to be
would
clear, he's always had, yeah.
Just himself. He's just peeking, you know.
And a little lurker. Oh, what they doing?
Rayna, it's one dude, right?
As far as we know. We have a bad track record with that.
Rayna is going to turn around. She is not going to say anything yet, but her patience is pretty short at this point. And she's going to glare, I guess she can't see him, but back. And wait to see if her friends say anything.
We'll turn with her.
Reuben's going to
Same
notice
thing.
that and be like, he's going to grab both of your arms and say, guys, do as I say, not as I do. Come on. Leave it.
No, I want to know what he wants, and I want him to know that we know what he's up to. I'm not saying we fight, but I don't have any patience for these games after what we've been through.
Well, unfortunately, it's matter of fact that we did not complete our mission, and he knows that now. And he
Oh, he does it. The house just exploded. For all he knows, we did.
My problem with this whole scenario is even if we had done the job, we could have been in the house explosion. So like
As you all are standing here talking about this, you, Shoal, would see that Brannick pulls back a little bit and pulls around the side of a building.
I was hoping he'd like approach and be like, "Hi guys."
Does Shoal tell us that?
He saw us. We think he got the message.
Uh,
But we think we should sleep together tonight in shifts because what the fuck happened tonight?
you learned a new word.
literally, I'm curious if had we not been there, if the house still would have exploded. What
I'll-
even happened? How did the house even explode? What I mean, I was out for how long? And what happened?
We need to talk when we get back.
Okay.
Let's say
get
that the
back.
group manages to make it back to the Happy Sea Dog, just a little bit further up Killhall Heights. And where is Flynn in the Happy Sea Dog?
Having a sleep.
I would be in our room trying to redo all my inscriptions, infusions. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, not that it mattered because I wasn't fighting anyone, but did my gloves then?
Yes. A lot of Flynn is changing a lot of his character with this upcoming long rest. Just as a heads up.
Okay.
I'm switching the armor I have to the other one. Infusing the lightning launcher I'm getting, and then infusing the actually I don't think I can. I don't know, changing spells. We can go over that.
Yeah, we can work that out. But as you were working on all of that, the door opens and you see a very bedraggled looking remaining group of the skeleton crew come through the door, led by Reuben, who kind of opens the door to your room, looking for you.
Joel's gonna keep a mage hand out in the hallway.
Okay.
Like,
keep it watch.
Yeah.
They let you go again?
I'm really sick of these things not working out.
We are together, though. That is a huge improvement.
The house exploded. That's what Anna's telling Flynn. The house exploded.
From explosives? Like, what do you mean the house exploded? Like a bunch of guards showed up? Is this
Would
figurative?
she have seen the tentacles? Or just seen the debris? And
I think you would have seen like a faint purplish glow. I think the tendrils are too dark and inky black to be visible in the night sky.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, I got knocked the fuck out. They could probably fill you in more, but I woke up to Shoal being like, we got to get the hell out of here. And like, there was nobody around. And then we got out of the house. And then it started glowing purple and exploded.
I'll tell you what happened. Those stupid fucking magic users summoned the monstrosity that killed my wife.
Wait.
What?
What?
Rayna would feel a little bit satisfied in her self-satisfied because of how wary she was of the magic. Like, I knew it was dangerous, but she would be very quiet because this is very upsetting.
To be clear, I'm not stating facts. Reuben doesn't know anything. He's just speculating because he has no idea.
No, that's fine.
I believe
Speculate
you.
away, Reuben.
Or
You don't need to
Rayna
clarify that.
Rayna believes you. I deliberately not insight checking you.
No,
That
I
sounds right.
am.
Okay.
Cause what the fuck?
Anna,
19.
what were you doing in Alnwick?
I told you I don't know. I woke up and the whole city was destroyed. I don't know what happened.
Well,
I literally don't remember anything of my life past waking up 25 years ago.
that thing back there,
What thing?
that explosion, as
The
you call it,
tentacles.
you saw them.
We saw the tentacles.
The
There were
We
monstrosity.
saw
tentacles?
everything.
What the hell?
Those were present right before your little wake up. If your story lines up as I'm thinking it is. Sounds like you got a bit of a fortunate situation out of my biggest tragedy. Lucky for you.
Is it so? I mean, yeah, sure. Living this, lifeless existence of like,
I'd be careful with your next words that you choose.
okay, sure. I'm not a living thing. I don't this is not my body. I don't have memories. You think that's called living? Not knowing who I was before, not knowing where my family is, if I have family, not knowing with this whole bullshit of the Fomorians and the toys, not knowing what I actually was, waking up in the middle of a fucking catastrophic event, just surrounded by fucking your fucking people. You think that's living? You think that was lucky?
Reuben starts to turn around and walk out the door, and then he says, well, maybe if you didn't wake up, she would still be here with me.
Why are you
Slams
saying
the
this
door.
like it's my fucking fault? Fuck you, Reuben.
Please. We need to calm down. We can talk about that later. But can we please talk about what happened tonight? What were those tentacles? What happened while we were gone?
Well,
What
you
are
asked
those
the only
blood
fucking
patterns?
you asked the only fucking person who may know. Like, none of us know. The only person that knows is the one who just had a hissy fit and fucking walked out of the room.
Did he leave the room?
Did he leave the room?
Didn't
I
he just say
slammed-
he
Mhm.
slammed the door?
I slammed the door after being really mean.
Ooh.
This is a long shot, but can I Arcana check to see if I would have any idea of what they're talking about?
Joel's going to give a very detailed description.
Okay. Go ahead and make an Arcana check, Flynn.
Okay, I got a 9. You know what? I'm gonna luck this roll.
Okay.
All right, 21.
On a 21, you know enough to know that this is so unheard of that this type of spell casting could not happen by like innately. You know what I mean? Like if some type of magic caused this, it would have to be more than just a person, using magic. It would be very involved. It would have a lot of power behind it. But you don't really know enough about what went down there to know how it got that powerful or what was involved in making it happen.
So like knowing
You would know that you would probably need to speak with a magic user to get better insight into it. Somebody who is very powerful.
Would I get the sense that the creature I ran into caused this? Like, would I think they were powerful enough to do something like this? Because I know they mentioned blood stuff
A lot
to
of
me.
paint to play with.
Yeah, I think that the uncanniness of how you were paralyzed in place, the power of that magic would indicate to Flynn that somebody who is that powerful of a magic user would definitely be powerful enough to obtain the knowledge of how to do something like this.
Okay.
Would Rayna connect any of what she saw to her past? All that sounds familiar is purple glow, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think the Fey glass sounds familiar to Rayna. Yeah, but not much else.
Okay. And has Flynn relayed what happened to him to us yet? Okay.
In fact, nobody's spoken about anything except for the tendrils appearing.
That's all I was awake for.
That's right.
That's all I was awake for.
All right. Rayna is going to kind of like put a hand on a shoulder because of the emotional flare up that happened between her and Reuben. And say, I think emotions are running pretty high tonight, and we've all had way too much danger for one evening. I think we need to just sleep this off and regroup in the morning when we can have a chance to separate ourselves from what happened a little bit.
What's the thumb guy's name?
Brannick.
Brannick.
Yeah.
By the way, Lynn, Brannick was following us, so we think we should stay in one room tonight and sleep in sheds.
What about Reuben?
You can fuck off.
He will be all right. He was attacking the tentacles frantically without any regard for his safety. We think he needs to be alone.
I think you're probably right. All right. Well, Rayna will really try to summon composure as much as she can. So let's call it a night then. We'll figure things out in the morning.
You three can sleep first. We will take first watch.
Okay. Shoal, go ahead and make your perception check for your watch. And I think
That one.
Yikes.
It's fine.
We all die in our sleep.
I need to do a fester check too.
Yes, so I think it's more of a festering night for everyone in this group. I think sleep does not come to this group easily. Even those heavily wounded, as they're kind of plagued with questions and a lot of new unanswered problems that have sprung up ahead of them. And I think there is kind of a strange juxtaposition here between, one room festering over a past lost and another room festering over a chance for a future lost. And I think sleep comes to neither party easily. But eventually everybody is able to get to some rest. Anna. The sensation returns to you. Bodilessness. Breath always escaping your lungs. Never able to inhale. Your non-existent heart racing faster than conceivably possible. It's a feeling you felt over and over, just today even, as you've neared death. But now you feel it anew in life. Looking around you, a familiar scene. A forest of long, thin, tufted pine trees around you, and a hill ahead, illuminating in the darkness by a light of flames. causing thick, billowing black clouds of smoke to glow with the firelight. You've been here before, twice now, newly conscious outside of the burning village of Alnwick. Now familiar with what lies ahead, what does Anna seek this time?
When she's gonna make her way towards the city again,
Mhm.
and while she's going, just trying to like see if there's like try to figure out like how far after like the event happened, like this is supposed to be, like see if there's
Mhm.
anyone that's leaving or if there's anything that she notices, and then like any on the way there. And then when she gets there, because she knows what she'll find based on, you know, dreams before. She knows she'll see the girl, but she wants to see if she can find, like she can look around and see if there's anything else, like maybe a cause of it or so, like another lone person like in the aftermath.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and make 2 perception checks for me.
Okay. So that's 13 and no 1. So 3.
Okay. As you approach, coming down the hillside, you can see the town of Aldenwick is not very large in size. It's really more of a village than anything else. Its center has been absolutely devastated. The entire center square of the village has been collapsed and is aflame. And you see individual figures scattering in all directions. But most of them have already made their way a short distance from the town itself. Getting into the town as you progress closer towards its center, you see the occasional fleeing survivor. You can even hear the cries of some who have been stuck, left behind in a collapsed building, or stuck behind, restricted from exit by fire. Arriving at the center, you can see a circle of flame as all of the buildings have turned into pyres, essentially, now decorating the outskirts of the center square like a circle of wagons. And in the center, in shadow behind the flame, you can see the outline of a rabbit stuffkin kneeling face down, looking downward at the ground, weeping.
It's a male, female?
Male.
Okay. I'm gonna go closer to that scene because I know what to find elsewhere.
Okay. As you approach closer, Jack, what was Reuben doing 25 years ago upon arriving at the scene here and seeing his last sight of his wife?
Well, it sounds like we've already discovered this, right? So obviously when Mary left, when she didn't come back, he went over to Alnwick and saw the flames and panic induced. And I assume right now he's kneeling over her.
She is no longer there, but you are kneeling where you last saw her. Yeah.
Then he's shouting her name.
Okay.
He's single tearing. Well, no, he's more than that. He's ugly crying, and he's just shouting Mary's name.
Did she
Shouting Bloody Mary.
Did she like vaporize? Or
Well, so I'm gonna say Anna, as your spirit approaches closer to the wall of flames, you hear the profoundly anguished cries of Reuben shouting, "Mary," and then you wake up. And that is where we'll pick back up next session.
Just also like one question, like
Mhm.
while she was looking around, because she originally had found like the emblem, but like this time when she's going in, knowing what their uniforms and everything look like,
Mhm.
is she seeing that the majority of like any devastation is the enforcer uniforms?
Unfortunately, because of the
Can't. There's
nat
no
one,
bodies. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't see shit.
you didn't gather much else except for what was central to the scene.
Ah,
But
I'm never
you
gonna
can
learn
investigate
anything.
more
'Cause my
about it
rolls
next
are
week.
Shitty.
Thank you all very much for watching. I hope this episode was as exciting for you all as it was for all of us. And we hope you'll come back next session to see what the party is able to make of all of this chaos. Until then, thanks again for watching, and let the dice tell the story. Have a good night.
All right.
Mm.